Alright, YouTube. I upgraded the shocks on the Thunder Tiger XB buggy. Originally you have the plastic shocks. The plastic shocks that come on this, on the bottom is not threaded caps. The cap on top never pop off. They're fine. It's the bottom here that pops off on hard landings and stuff. So I went ahead and I upgraded from the stock ones to the Thunder Tiger upgraded version, which is aluminum, which is the aluminum body threaded body shock. Now the problem with this is that it's the same thing. The bottom cap snaps on. It's not a threaded cap. And as you can see, this piece here does not sit properly all the time. Sometimes it's at an angle, causing the shaft to have some stiction. Top again is threaded, not a big deal, not a problem. It's this bottom end cap that has been the problem on the Thunder Tiger line. Now, I finally went ahead and just upgraded to the Team Associated shocks. I had originally got a B44 shocks. The problem with the Team Associated B4 shocks was it's fitted for a .89 front shocks. They weren't long enough. So I had to go with the 1.02 shock, which is a little longer front shock. It actually works perfect for this buggy. Right now the suspension's set up pretty soft. What makes it the Team Associated shocks better is that you can get a bunch of different springs and tune it to what you want to do. Now the shocks on the back are also the factory team aluminum threaded shocks. Now the difference in the back are the buggy shocks, which are 1.18 in the rear, which match up perfectly with the Thunder Tiger shocks in the rear. The only problem that doesn't match up completely is the front shocks, which are 1.02, which are slightly longer than the stock shocks that come on the front, the Thunder Tiger versions. You can put some plastic washers in there to limit the travel, down travel actually, to make it the exact length that you want. But this buggy is a little heavier, and the length, the little bit of extra length that you get in the 1.02 is actually good for this buggy. Now to add these shocks on there, these are the let me rephrase it, the V2 shocks. So these are the factory Team Associated V2 shocks. Now the only thing you really have to do you don't even have to really modify anything to put these on. I'm using the Thunder Tiger eyelets on the bottom to mount it. And then all I did was, you'll need the factory team bushing spacers that go on here. And you'll also need to get the associated 4x40 screws. Part number is 7413, and the part number on this is 1781 for the bushings. You have to get these screws because the screws that I had don't thread on to the bushings. So I had to get the screws that actually did. And they screw in there and they hold just fine. One of the things, you don't have to use aluminum ones. I do believe Team Associated has plastic ones that you can replace it with, which is fine. But one thing I've got to run it. It's got a soft setup, 30 weight front, 30 weight back. It handles way better than what it did before. I really like the shocks. Now I don't think the shocks hold as much fluid as the XB, upgraded ones did, but with the tunability in that, it's way better than the stock stuff. But yeah, if you have an XB buggy and you're not happy with the shocks, I think that's mainly the biggest problem with this buggy. I think are the shocks. The team associated V2 shocks will mount up on here pretty simple. Very little mods needed. I didn't have to Dremel or do anything to get them mounted. Save a little bit of hardware from the stock shocks, switch it out on the eyelets, and you're pretty much good to go on upgraded shocks. Just so you can see, and you can see if you go with the team associated, you can get a lot of different springs to tune it. So that makes a big difference versus the stock shocks with you either get blue or red. I do believe that, and this has definitely been a big improvement. Thanks for watching.